Okay, so hi everyone. Today we have a guest from US, Reco. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you, Max.
Yeah, I really appreciate that you jumped to this call and decided to share with my audience, with potential your audience, some insight regarding your business, regarding your experience. So nice to meet you. Okay, my first question will be about your education years. I know that you're educated in engineering, but now you're a business owner. When you were a student, your dream was be successful engineers and work in some like IBM company, or you all time thinking about your own business?
So when I was contemplating going to college in high school, I didn't really have a direction. And I chose engineering because it was the hardest thing that I could find as an undergraduate. And I figured I would figure it out as I worked through my undergraduate education. I started as a chemical engineer, which is a very technical, lab-based life. And I realized pretty quickly that wasn't for me. And so I switched to mechanical engineering and ultimately got a double degree in mechanical and civil engineering. I didn't know I was going to be an engineer. I didn't know that I was going to start a business. I just knew that it was hard and it had all the prerequisites of whatever I wanted to be, whether it was a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. So I didn't have a lot of direction when I chose it. I just kind of chose the hardest thing I could find.
Okay, got it. And what was the biggest problem when you started the business? It was my network or lack of ideas, so whatever.
It was actually relatively easy for us. I have a business partner who is out of Chicago, Illinois, and I was in California. We had both worked for a large engineering firm together, him in Chicago and me in California. We had a client that was going to do a lot of work in California, but was based out of the Chicago area. And so my business partner, Austin, called me up and said, hey, you want to do something great and start a company and serve this client that he had lined out, but he couldn't practice in California. So it was a relatively easy process for us because we had a very large national client built in that we kind of formed our business to serve. I think that was a positive and a negative for us because we built up a 13-person engineering firm in about 9 or 10 months serving that client, but we never got other clients. And so we learned a hard lesson from that in that when they started to slow down what they were doing, our company also slowed down and we collapsed down to 4 people. And what we have as CaliChi now is CaliChi 2.0, we call it, because we've now rebuilt it back up to be a more well-rounded company. But I think that was our biggest problem when we started, is arrogance, that we thought that we were exceptionally good at this because we had this great client that was baked in and helped us build our company instantly. But we didn't realize that real companies are built out of many, many, many different areas where your revenue comes from. So if I had to do it again, I would definitely pay attention to that.
Okay, we got it. So I found information that in 2018, your revenue was $2 million. What is your aims for next year in 2020?
So we have about a 30% growth goal every single year, and we've hit that for the last 5 years running. So this year, we're going to be in the 2.6-ish, and then next year, assuming nothing wild happens in the economy that's way out of our control, we'll probably more or less hit that 30% growth again. So we'll be in the 3.3, 3.4 million range. And that's all predicated on the idea that we can find talent to help us grow. That is by far the biggest problem that we have, is finding people who are both bought into the way we do things and also are very talented and passionate about our business. So
you mentioned regarding the talent is so important for your business. I think for each business, talent is so important, but for your business, what is the talent? So it should be perfect engineer or maybe perfect sales guy. It's also talent.
It's all of the above. So engineering firms are looking for this position called a principal. And a principal is somebody who's a total package. They're technically competent. They're able to go out and meet new clients. They're able to close the deals. They're able to handle themselves and represent the firm in meetings in a very professional and agreeable manner. Finding engineers are typically very technical, so finding those who also have a passion for being social is a challenge. I think we look for passion as the #1 trait of people that we want to bring on board, and then the technical skills can be taught. The practice can be taught. Passion for your practice cannot be taught. And so I think when I say finding talent, that's the #1 thing, is when you talk to someone and you can see a glint in their eye and they want to grow, they want to learn, they want to become a well-rounded engineer. That's the talent that we're always looking for. And there's a lot of technical people in this world, engineers that we interview, and there's a lot of people who aren't very technical but are very smart. And we're looking for a little bit of technical, a lot of smart, and the main thing is passion. And so it's not the easiest thing to find that a lot of times, especially with the job market being so tight now in the US. But we just had an interview 2 days ago with someone who checked all the boxes, and that is always an amazing experience. So, yeah.
Seems like you need additional 20 entrepreneurs not in place.
Absolutely. Our business is we do a lot of design work, but we do a lot of coordination and collaboration. The design teams that we work on, as far as other companies, there can be 10 to 15 other companies providing input on a building design and a site design, and then we marry those two. And so a lot of our job is collaboration, coordination, internal, external. And so it's a lot of communication. And engineers are not taught that as much in college as they are, here's calculus, here's physics. So we're always looking for those people who can bridge that gap.
Okay. I assume entrepreneur, you read a lot of books. Maybe you could recommend some books for young entrepreneurs who just start own business.
The books that I recommend to the younger entrepreneurs that I meet is anything by Malcolm Gladwell. He did some books, Tipping Point, and I can't remember the names of the rest. They're very general, and they talk about psychology and how business is done and how people interact with those around them. I think that is one of the most important pieces to learn as you're just starting out. Is business is people, 100%. It's numbers, and you can have accountants, and we have CFO, and these people who are crunching the numbers all the time, and you have to be able to understand those. But in the end, it's managing people, it's collaborating with people, it's a people business. And so I would recommend, more so than the hardcore business books, is the more books about psychology and how people are motivated and how to be a part of that process.
I really like this point, because I don't remember exactly the name of this book, but in traditional sales, say B2B sales, but modern approach, say H2H sales, human to human. So yep. Business is not something, business is human, and from other side it's also human. It's
absolutely.
It's about people, it's about human, it's about communication, it's about sociality. So I really like this point.
Absolutely, and no matter what you learn in a book, being genuine is absolutely the #1 critical piece. And I think some people think that sales is this process where somebody wins. And in the end, it's really about everyone winning. And that's how we approach things, is if our clients are happy, if at the end of the day they go, man, that was great, we got a good price, and the product was excellent, that's what I want. I don't want us to be saying, we really won, and the client goes, man, I feel like that didn't feel right. So we go with, genuine interactions and fair contracts, and these are the things that we do. And so absolutely, it's a people to people.
And
very important.
Besides of books, what young entrepreneurs, what would you recommend to young entrepreneurs they should do or shouldn't do?
I think becoming very technically confident in whatever it is they're doing is a very easy thing to do, because it's spelled out in endless books and classes and forums. You can learn the technicality of what you're doing, no matter what it is. That's an easy step. The next step is just to find something that you're passionate about. Because if you're passionate about what you do, the rest falls into place. You spend more hours doing it, you get better at it faster. Your boss loves working with you, the people that you work with love working with you, your clients love working with you. The passion is #1, and it's something that can't be manufactured. So instead of chasing something because it pays a lot of money, chasing something because there's a lot of jobs available in it, within reason, go find something that you're extremely passionate about, and you'll be extremely successful at it, because it's not hard to work hard at things that you're passionate about. So that's my number one piece of advice for everyone that I meet, is find what you're passionate about. I mean, you have to be able to make a living, so it can't be something that doesn't pay. It could be, but there's a few people who make that work, not many. But generally speaking, you know, do you love being in a lab? Do you love being in a construction site? Do you love being in a tech environment doing, you know, software sales? What do you love? Do you love selling? Do you love marketing and collaborating? Just find what you're passionate about, and everything else will fall into place.
And I have one more question what I would like to ask you. How to make a revenue more than $10 million in next year? What entrepreneurs should do, or I don't know, how they can achieve these goals?
Achieve revenue of $10 million, that's a substantial company. So you're obviously very confident at what you do. You have exceptional clients who trust you. For us, the only way we could do that is through acquisition. And we prefer an organic growth process over that. Other entrepreneurs, I would say, just again, keep that passion, serve your clients. If your clients are extremely happy with what you do, they're going to give you more. And that's just, and they, in our experience, if our clients love what we're doing, they recommend us to their competitors and say, look, these guys are doing a great job, you should talk to them. So it's passionate about what you do, and that infects everything, really.
Okay, so Reco, really thanks for this call, for this discussion, really appreciate it.